Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about basketball match today. We are honored to talk with the absolute legend of Spanish and European basketball. Being here in Treviso, seeing all the young prospects, what is one kind of piece of advice maybe is the 3 days go on that you would give to the young guys, and maybe would you advise them, today is a trend that young guys go straight to the NBA. Do you think it's better to stay maybe in Europe for 2-3 years, develop like they did before, or jumping straight ahead to the big league is a good move for you?
Well, first, in the short term, I try to help them with the mindset that they have to face the challenge of being here in front of a lot of scouts, a lot of people related with basketball, and enjoy the experience. That would be the most important. And then, each of us have their own circumstances, so it depends on what you want or what the opportunities you have. But at the end, you want to play at the highest level here in Europe, in the States, college, NBA. So each of them has to choose what's best for them.
And let's take your career for example. You went pretty young to Portland, I think 20 years old, straight from the Spanish league. Now looking back, if you could kind of use the knowledge you have today and see yourself at 18 years old, would you kind of give some different advice and maybe take a different route, or you think the way you did was the best way for you?
I always feel like when you have the opportunity, you have to get you have to make a decision. So once you make a decision, you gotta go with that. That change of me going from Europe to the NBA helped me a lot to develop myself, only as a player, also as a person. And that helped me to have the career that I had afterwards. So I really enjoyed the moment, going with 20 years old to Portland and play against the best in the NBA. And I don't have any regrets because that was the thing that I was really pushing to do.
Yeah, and your first NBA stint, Portland, Knicks, Kings, and then you go back to Europe. When you came back to Europe those few years before returning to Philly, did you feel you were kind of a different player? Like, did you use the stuff that you learned over the years in the US? Did it make you a much better player than you were before?
I didn't have a reference because before I went to the NBA, I was super young. So I didn't know what I was as a professional player. I was 23 years old when I came back, 24, and with a lot of pressure playing for Real Madrid. So that helped me also to grow and to mature on what were the things that I had to do better to become a better player. So I put the work and it was well.
Sure. Obviously, you played big roles in Europe, you played big roles in the NBA. What is the one kind of key difference in maybe the strategy and the philosophies that coaches in the NBA and Europe use that you could say, okay, this is so much different than, I was playing it out, but I'm now playing in Philly. What is the main difference in two games?
Yeah, we usually talk. I mean, in game, there are not much difference. There, the best players are playing there. But then, for example, losing 30 games in the NBA is an amazing season.
Yeah.
Because you are 50 wins, you have 50 wins on the season. Here in Europe, if you lose 30 games at 80, it could be dangerous for everybody. Yeah.
Especially
it matters a lot the day by day, the routine that you have, the work that you put on practice, and then you have to depend on results.
Sure. And for just a couple of quick questions or simple questions. You won a lot of trophies, medals in career. Which one is your favorite? Being Spain.
I've been very lucky. I won with clubs, different countries, and then with the national team. The national team won the World Cup, the European Championship, the Olympic gold medals. So it's hard to choose one, but I think also the EuroLeague, the 3 EuroLeagues that we won, because the format, how difficult it is to have a long season, to play the playoff, and then have a good weekend for the Final Four.
Yeah, of course. And you played a lot against players, great matchups. Do you have like one guy that was like, man, this is a tough night, this is a tough guy to guard? Who is like the top for you?
Yeah, probably the top was Kobe Bryant. We have great matchup matchups against the Lakers when I was in Portland.
Yeah.
With the national team also. So his mindset, he was ready for any game, and it was super hard to limit it.
Ruthless. Yeah. And one last question, because you had such a great career, so many things. I want to put you in a position of when you're coach or GM, like your best starting five from your teammates that you assembled the team, maybe. I know it's a big choice, but like
very hard, very hard. Yeah. I play with some of the best players. It would be tough to decide. I have great teammates also, but playing national team with players like Navarro, De Gasol, Real Madrid with Felipe, Rudy, some others amazing. And then in the NBA, Marcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy, Joel Embiid. So it will be tough.
Too many players to pick just five. Mr. Rodriguez, thank you so much for your time and for your answers, and I hope you have a nice time here in Italy.
All right, thank you very much.